Hi everybody, today is Friday, July 3rd, 2020. It is 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. I am in the neighborhood of Chelsea, and today I'm going to be walking through this neighborhood during the Phase 2 reopening of the New York City economy from COVID-19, and also during the 4th of July weekend. We'll see what's open and what's not, and how many people there are walking the streets and enjoying their time outside. If this was any other year, there'd be tons of tourists here shopping and people eating at this restaurant, but now it's just the locals. The city recently redesigned this entire plaza. There was a lot of construction going on here for many years. This is 14th Street. The High Line elevated park is off in the distance there. Primarily, this is a residential neighborhood. It's also famous for its art galleries. Although right now there aren't, I think, too many exhibitions for art displays. I don't know how the pandemic is affecting all the art galleries, but we'll see. Wow, look at this. By the way, they have a sign here for M Meatpacking. Technically, I was in the meatpacking district, which was just across the block, but this is the beginning of it. Everything north of here is considered Chelsea. Here's the Apple store. Apple store is open now, although right now they need to check your temperature before going in. There's a person there who just checked your temperature. They got hand sanitizer in the front, and social distancing measures are in effect. What a crazy world we live in now, where just to enter a store we need to have our temperature checked. Really crazy. It still shocks me to this day that we have to do some things like that. Here's the Starbucks Reserve Roastery. And this is the first Starbucks store I've ever seen with outdoor seating and dining available. But looks like they got a good thing going on here. Look at this, folks. They put their menu outside now. And they have a, I guess the indoors, if you want to use the restroom, you can. But here's the Starbucks menu. They have the outdoor bar here. Very fancy inside. All right, folks. Here is the headquarters of Google, New York City. Actually, its parent company is called Alphabet. Google is a sub-company of Alphabet. And here's the Chelsea Market, also owned by Google or Alphabet. I still like to call them Google because that's what they're really known for and known as. Google paid over $2.8 billion for this one building, but basically it is a mixed food hall and office space. And actually, Google leased most of the office space before, so it's not like it was a bad real estate deal for them to buy this building. But this is touted as one of the most expensive real estate transactions ever for a single building. And before Google came here, this used to be the New York Authority Inland Terminal Number 1, according to the words on the outside of the building. So I'll just continue walking up 9th Avenue a little bit. Just wait for these cars to go past. I don't know when they'll start moving. Okay, I almost tripped over that hump in the end of the curb there. Gotta be careful where you're walking. Right next to me to my left are the Fulton houses. These are New York City public housing projects, low-income housing. But pretty quiet here in Chelsea. Pretty quiet. I think I'll walk over to 8th Avenue. Maybe there's some more activity on 8th Avenue. Most of the residential areas to my left here. Here's a food market, Alaska Food Market. This is open, local grocery store. It still shocks me how empty New York City seems compared to a year ago at the same time. New York City is reopening for the Phase 3 reopening on Monday, July 6th. Originally that was supposed to include the indoor dining options, but that has been delayed. Now really the only businesses that will be opening under Phase 3 are the non-hair personal care businesses, such as nail salons, tattoo parlors, massage parlors, spas, and like tanning salons. Also, Broadway has been delayed until next year. Originally, they were supposed to open in September, but now they plan to delay Broadway theaters until next year. Really, really insane. So this is a nice little residential block here. Some small staircases. Oh wow, this is a open street. So New York City has put in these open streets programs to encourage people to go walk and get exercise without having to deal with car traffic, and also allow for people to have more space due to social distancing guidelines. Local traffic is still allowed through the street, although the traffic does have a 5-mile-an-hour speed limit. It's good to know that there are more of these around. It says over there, shared street, no through traffic, 5 miles an hour, and pedestrian priority. Here's a restaurant, Sambo Asian Fusion Cuisine. Nobody dining inside because indoor dining is not allowed, but there is someone inside working. All right, here's 8th Avenue. We'll see what we can find here in 8th Avenue in Chelsea. Chipotle Mexican Grill. 2 people just went in, but only takeout. You cannot dine inside. They've got little stands inside, closed temporarily on the tables. That underneath me is the 8th Avenue subway. Here's an outdoor dining option in Chelsea. I don't see the name of it immediately. Oh, this is Seymour's. It's nice that they're able to offer this outdoor dining right now. The restaurants do need to be quick because we are scheduled to get some thunderstorms in an hour or so.
So my vagina
Is that person really talking about their... All right, never mind. Here's Cooper's Craft and Kitchen. They got barrels for their tables. It's really interesting.
I love that. Sorry. I love it. So your mom is at one point
19th Street. Oh, the yogurt place is open, and I see people outside of the yogurt place. Yogurt's a good idea right now. Starbucks is open. In fact, all the Starbucks are open across the city. And what's busy right now is Trek bicycles. Trek bicycles, very busy now. Because people are riding their bicycles more and more. It's seen as a superior method of transportation compared to the subway, the bus, driving. But we'll see how long these people ride their bicycles if extreme weather comes and when it gets cold and it rains. Because I feel that most people do not want to ride a bicycle in those conditions, and the other options are still available during that time. That's the only thing where bicycling is undesirable to most people. Okay, here's another restaurant, the Dish Restaurant. They've got outdoor seating. Salvation Army store is across the street. A lot of people drop off their excess goods and items that they no longer need at the Salvation Army, and then they put them up for sale. Goes towards a great cause, and they do a lot of charity work.
Where?
Here's a nail salon. I wonder if there's going to be signs saying that they're going to be opening up on Monday. I'm sure the people waiting for manicures will be very happy. Things will be very different because they gotta wear masks and do all this stuff. Yep, they'll be open on July 6th. So great to see another portion of the New York City economy able to return back to work now. It just goes to make you wonder, though, how indoor dining is much more dangerous than getting your hair cut or getting your nails done or getting a massage. It would seem like all those activities have the same amount of physical distance between people, but we'll see what happens. Maybe there's the science behind it or something. But it is what it is. Here's a local neighborhood cat. Uh-oh. I think that cat's ready to pounce on something. Okay, here's 23rd Street, and oh my goodness, that huge New York Sports Club store is closed and boarded up. Really, really crazy. I know the gyms are not allowed to reopen until phase 4, but to see it with boards up on the store still is kind of bleak, to be honest. Okay, let's go. This is 23rd Street, one of the main crosstown streets in Manhattan. I can also make out the top of the Empire State Building right now. Used to be the tallest building in the world, but now I think it's like the 9th tallest building in New York City. I still think it's the most iconic building in New York City, though. Let me cross the street over here because I want to show you one of the businesses over here, or several of the businesses, I should say. This Rite Aid is open 24 hours. And the business I want to show you is right here, the Brooklyn Bagel and Coffee Company, which is actually a very misleading name because they do not have any locations in Brooklyn, only Manhattan and Queens. And to me, this is the best bagel store in New York City. There's also a dollar pizza place here, Two Bros. It's still open. And also Lombardi's Pizza, first pizzeria in America, it says, established 1905. Here's 7-Eleven. I'm gonna walk all the way to Penn Station and then end this video. I'd like to see how the Penn Station area is doing at this time. Bean and Bean Coffee is open. They got a few tables outside, but no one's using them. I really feel for these coffee places, including Starbucks, because without all these office workers in Manhattan, there really isn't a reason to get coffee unless you're just traveling through here and working down here. But without Manhattan's core work base, which is the office workers, these coffee places aren't going to have as much business as they once did. So, good thing to know, since the temperature is so hot outside, my camera overheats after about 20 minutes or so. Good thing I have a backup camera and battery, so I could switch them out whenever they get too hot, but seems like it gets overheated much quicker than the GoPro Hero 7. I actually thought GoPro would have solved that issue in this model, but I guess it's the same thing as the Hero 7. There's David Dubunsky Student Center. This whole area, by the way, is the Fashion Institute of Technology School. It's actually a state university, so the tuition is a little bit more affordable than the private schools, like NYU, which I think charges $50,000 a year for tuition. Although with COVID-19, I don't know if those rates will be going down. I know there's some colleges and universities across the country that have been reducing tuition fees because online instruction is not the same as in-person instruction, and also the campus experience. Here's 28th Street. This street is also unique over here because it curves. Here's the second 7-Eleven. They've also got the Big Gulp for sale for 49 cents. Seems like a good deal to me, the Big Gulp for 49 cents. I like their slogan there in the front, get close to Slurpee, not to other shoppers. That's the way it is now. Inside businesses, most of the times there's very strict social distancing rules. Oh. I feel bad for him. I actually don't know what stuff he dropped there. Oh my gosh, I really feel for this person outside the Taco Bell. Such a sad sight to see now. Right now, the people who are really struggling are those without homes, have mental illnesses and problems, and they're just so down low that it's really hard to help them. I do wish that society helps them out and things get better. Before, many of these people down on their luck, they will rely on tourism and the large volumes of people passing by here. But now, without much of that around, I think they're really struggling now. They really got to hustle and make do with what they have, and it's a really sad thing. All right, here is the James Farley Post Office building. Now the entrance to the western end of Penn Station. And here's Penn Station, which is now underground. It used to be a magnificent above ground building, but all the rails are the same. It's just that the design is completely different now. And also Madison Square Garden is constructed on top of Penn Station. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna end this video here. If you enjoyed this walk of the Chelsea neighborhood of New York City, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for some more videos, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Closing doors, please.